Hello everyone. This presentation will be on the theme of developers and cheaters, introduction into game hacking and security. On our current agenda is we'll be talking about a brief history of cheating in video games and how cheat developers make those cheats for their games, which methods and programs they use. Briefly, we'll talk about how it affects video game developers and video game industry as a whole, and what's being done about it, how developers and companies work to counter cheating in video games. Then I will present you with a small discussion about future of arms race in terms of this, and a small conclusion about how it will be, what's being done, what's being done about it. So the rise of esports. The gaming industry is becoming a pretty big thing worldwide with an advent of online gaming, LAN tournaments, and televised gaming. For example, in South Korea, it's a really big thing that video game championships are being streamed on TV, with overall high worldwide popularity. With League of Legends Championship in 2013, 32 million viewers, and relatively unknown Free Fire World Series in Singapore was 5.4 million viewers. Also, it's all about money. For companies, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry that can generate huge profits and create virtual in-game markets that are under control for by this company. And for players, it's like a road to fame, with streaming, sponsorship deals, and the huge championship prize deals, like with international and Dota prize pool of $40 million, and in 2019 Fortnite World Cup it was $30.4 million, with first place person earning $3 million solo. So, in terms of what is considered cheating in games, cheating in games is an unfair advantage that allows you to basically bypass, to basically get a absolute edge on your opponents in video games. It's abusing and modifying game logic, like manipulating game, botting, scripting, and multi-accounts, which allows you to basically one-man army the game, and exploiting game bugs, which we will mostly won't touch today because game bugs are game specific. For example, common cheating vectors are speed, movement hacks, scripting, aimbots that allow you to move in unintended ways, like flying, speed hacking, and other stuff, and scripting aimbots that allow you to shoot perfectly, and damage insta-kill hacks that allow you to bypass the damage restrictions, the safety zones, and kill everybody everywhere easily. For example, the demo. Yes, this demo was from Splatoon. Additional vectors commonly used are botting, that allows to completely automate the... Oh, sorry. Presentation dropped. Sorry for that. Additional cheating vectors are botting that allows you to fully automate the farming and actions of your in-game character. For example, famous massive MMORPG World of Warcraft, there are many botters that basically farm resources and and then allow those players to sell those on in-game black markets for money, bypassing all the required effort to earn them. Additionally, common cheating vectors are player item and fighting hacks and wall hacks, X-ray mods that allow you to basically see enemy opponents anywhere on the map from anywhere they are. For a common example is Escape from Tarkov, wall hacks, and item finding hack that basically allows you to see what is everywhere and who is everywhere. About how they develop it, it's first and most of all reverse engineering, using general purpose research reverse engineering tools like IDA and Ghidra. If nobody is familiar, IDA and Ghidra is basically very, very powerful decompiler and disassembler that allow you to basically, as you can see the level or see the code of the program on your screen. Additionally, it is done with specialized tools like Cheat Engine and Drclass, which are a bit of an extension to the disassembler class of programs, which allow you to dynamically change and monitor all the registers and memory locations of the game in question. In terms of execution methods, after you develop your cheat, most of the market currently uses DLL injection with specific kernel loaders and with DLL that implements cheat logic. Due to how most of the games are done, the cheats hook direct 3D calls from the games directly, and then due to them being executed within the target process, they can directly read and write memory with the process's privileges. Additionally, it's also use network packet manipulation by replaying packets and modifying packets in transit via MITM attack, man-in-the-middle attack. Also, for some games that rely on speed of execution and low latency, introduction of artificial lag can greatly benefit the lagging player if the network code is benefiting the lagging player. And the external cheating is a type of cheat that allows you to modify a game from outside of the game. It's mostly done with the read process memory, write process memory. It's barely used because most of the anti-cheats nowadays can easily detect it. And in transparent window overlay above the game that is barely used nowadays too, because it can be easily detected. Additionally, what effect those cheats do on video games? Mainly, first and most of all, it's player-based decrease and dissatisfaction of the game, and bad publicity from the big gaming news agencies on the cheats, which results in huge drop in player base and general game going into obscurity in general. For example, demo from the
Bro, we all.
He's cheating.
Is he cheating?
He's cheating.
He's cheating.
Yes.
Okay. Dude, I was like,
additionally, it can result in, additionally, more extreme hacks and cheats can result in inoperability of game infrastructure and total game unplayability, which is the thing that happened for example, to Titanfall, where cheater was able to completely block access to the game for players, and since single player was done via online too, single player campaign also was inaccessible. Basically, player base reduced to almost zero, like in single digits. What is being done about it? Due to all the rampant cheating, there was a huge rise of the anti-cheats. For example, Valve anti-cheat, which is Valve's in-house anti-cheat that is used in CS:GO and Dota, and Vanguard, which is used in Valorant. Vanguard is kernel level anti-cheat, so it's much more effective in removing cheats. And many commercial anti-cheats that are used in many games. For example, Easy anti-cheat that is used in Apex Legends, and BattleEye that is used in DayZ. Most of those anti-cheats are sadly reactive, and basically they only react on the cheats that are already in the use, and due to that it is only a mitigation. Most of the anti-cheats work using an in-progress signature checks for any modified or injected files, game-specific checks to detect any misused logic of the game. Additionally, they use hook detection by checking the call stack. If periodically, basically, additional processes being run in the game that from time to time connects to the main game process, and hooks and checks all the call stack in the target threads. And if the amount of end of the call stack is bigger or smaller than it is required, then it crashes the game or says that it's being cheated on. And debugger detection that detects debug handles to the main game process. Additionally, out of process checks are used. Basically, I used to check for signature-based detection, basically file scanning and looking for cheat signatures, and process pattern detection by utilizing RAM memory scan and scanning for cheat process, for known cheat process. Additional various checks, as you can see, it's check game process handles that allow basically checking the used game process handles, checking all the game file signatures for modification, and heavy obfuscation of the game by attacking. But the problem with anti-cheat is they themselves are the program. So Anti-cheat libraries create additional attack surface too, like on a client and on a server. On the client, it is in terms of libraries that are used by the game, and on the server, it is in terms of network communication and additional accessible ports by the cheat. And due to most commercial cheats and in-house cheats are used in multiple games, that means that attack on anti-cheat is common to multiple games, and that means that bypassing anti-cheat is bypassing anti-cheat for many games on the market altogether. And what if there are bugs introduced in anti-cheat? For example, in 2019 in Apex there was an EAC no client bug, easy anti-cheat no client bug that allowed to basically just turn off easy anti-cheat without game noticing it, and then inject all your hacks that you can inject. So yeah, anti-cheats are sadly only mitigative solution currently, and they are mostly reactionary. In terms of cheating, the future for them are, at least for PC, is kernel driver based cheats that makes a user mode portion of the memory a protected address, and can map pages from game memory to cheat process. Since most of the current anti-cheats are kernel driver based cheats, the user mode protection, like DRM protection, is ineffective, but mapping pages from game memory to cheat process is the effective strategy, and it's still being used. And additionally, the new type of driver cheats is EFI BIOS-based driver, BIOS driver-based cheats, where a cheat is being loaded pre-boot from the EFI firmware on the motherboard into the system. It does the same mapping, but even at a lower level. Due to that, it's almost impossible to just detect it by kernel-based driver, and preventive mitigation becomes much harder due to most of the cheats being obfuscated. And if it's properly done, it cannot be ever challenged by kernel mode anti-cheat, because if you see if anti-cheats can't detect it at all, then it will basically be possible to counter it. About on future of anti-cheats, in terms of mitigation, it's currently kernel anti-cheat is a commonplace in video games, in multiplayer video games. Additionally to that is server-side AI detection to check the behavior of the player in question against all of the player base, and additionally human factor, like in Counter-Strike Global Offensive Overwatch. It's very interesting, but players are really good at detecting if somebody cheats or not. In terms of complete solutions, it is use of secure systems on the chips, for example NVIDIA Tegra on Switch, and maybe trusted platform modules on the PC, or completely closing the platform, making it inaccessible to the homebrew community, and basically all the modding and hobbyist community. By making this, you will guarantee the security of the game, the security and integrity of the games, but at the cost of the dissatisfied player base, and full streaming of games that will basically make your PC as a thin client for the game and allow you to play it not on your PC but in the cloud. In terms of the conclusion, anti-cheat is as we know, as a mitigation at best. Anti-cheat software can create additional attack surface via libraries and other additional bugs. Current client-side and anti-cheat can be completely bypassed. And fundamental video game redesign challenges are redesign is needed. With the next gen of the cheats in terms of EFI BIOS cheats is already becoming current gen. Streaming on offline games is ineffective. For example, Google Stadia closed in 2021 due to unprofitability, and due to recent rise of secure custom SoCs in devices like Google Tensor in smartphones, in smartphones, and Vitegra, for example, in video game consoles like Switch and other games, and recent requirement of TPM modules for Windows 11 in PCs that can basically that can allow us to have a more secure execution environment for the games if it is being utilized properly by the game designers and anti-cheat manufacturers alike. So I think Leonid right now needs to allow me to contact you for questions.
So in case anyone has any questions. So yeah, Andrei Inshin has a question right now, and so he's asking by what type of anti-cheat FRIDA injection can be detected?
Okay, by the way, what type of anti-cheat FRIDA injection can be detected? With current technologies, almost all of the anti-cheat FRIDA, almost all of the FRIDA injections can be detected by most of the kernel level anti-cheats. FRIDA is already a big signature for the anti-cheat systems. So if you want to inject FRIDA into the game, you will have to do it via a kernel-based driver, and you will have to recompile it by yourself with modifications. That will allow you to bypass the preemptive mitigation methods of anti-cheat.
Okay, thank you. I don't think there's any...
If there are no more questions, Leonid, just text
here?
me and I'll finish them.
Okay, I think there's no more questions, but thank you for answering this one.
Okay, then I'm finishing. Thank you for your attention, and see you next time.
Okay, thank you, Alexey, and thank you for your presentation.